So want to thank you all very much who are joining at this time. And just to let you know that we are going to, of course, let me try this quickly. We are going to in the moments ahead be ensuring that we have everybody on deck. And so I want to thank you. As you join, please you share extensively. Let's have this very frank discussion. And of course, as you're all aware, we understand exactly where we are, what we stand for as a people. And that is why today we're inspired to bring up this new, very important and strategic policy that we'll call the TaxTrack. And this is going to apply not only to those of us who are here in the US, but to every other Southern Cameroonian who lives in any other part of the world. You know, in the opening of this live show, I was playing the track, Report My Story by Humble Smith. And it is very important for us to understand why I have chosen this particular music. It gives us a lot of delight for all Southern Cameroonians to understand exactly why, as a people, we are concerned with very strategic things that are changing the face of our revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Southern Cameroonians, today I want to educate us on the very, very absolutely significant aspects of the revolution that would change our understanding of the level of our commitment, that would make us understand exactly what we mean when we talk about our contributions. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, all those of you who are joining us at this time, we appreciate the efforts and all the sacrifices that you've made so far. We understand that it is usually not easy. And we also understand that the days are very, very tough. Reason why a lot of people sometimes will feel a little bit discouraged about some of the things that have been happening as far as this revolution is concerned. We are very concerned about how much success we're going to make in the next couple of months. We are also concerned about some of the disagreements that have been going on social media with key actors. But we are also here to make people to understand that these aspects remain very important, remain very significant. These aspects remain a backbone of the revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Southern Cameroonians, as you are all aware, we have a strategic partner in the United States of America. We must all agree that the United States is a key promoter of human rights and justice. The United States remains and is the strongest world power. Reason why over the months we have considered how important it is for us all as a people to understand the significance of these aspects that will surround our own revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this juncture to welcome all of you on board. We will get straight to the show once we have at least 1,000 people watching. And of course, as you are all aware, We would also be talking about Professor Lumumba, PLO Lumumba, the heavyweight lawyer from Kenya. We'll also be talking about him on Wednesday precisely. We exchanged phone calls, and Professor Lumumba told me a couple of things that is very important for us all to understand. And let me be very clear with us all that we must, as a people, understand that there is no way we can go ahead without this very important understanding of the revolution. You see, the revolution is not about how long you've been. We must always reiterate this fact. It's very important. The revolution is about how humble you want to be to listen to the plight of the people of Southern Cameroon. I must tell you all that, ladies and gentlemen, we have repeated on this platform many times, and we want to reiterate our enthusiasm, our optimism, our total understanding of the fact that freedom has come after all. You see, you must all know that in recent, there is no way we as a people would want to deny the importance of our own revolution. There is nobody at this juncture who isn't aware of what's going on in Southern Cameroon. I'll just try and look through my pictures because I'm going to be displaying some pictures here today. As you are already aware, there is a wide range of very positive change that is blowing across the African continent. From the Algerian president, Bouteflika, to that of Sudan only yesterday, Omar al-Bashir, and then now to very important and significant declarations from the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, I will let you know one very important thing, that what was important for us all as a people was for us to understand where we want to be. A lot of people would have loved that I would have been displaying issues of Southern Cameroon behind my smart screen. But if I put those blurred pictures, Facebook is going to block me. So that's why I just wanted to have a kind of background. Now, we must all accept the fact that this revolution has gone beyond the understanding of many. Reason why it is symbolic for us all to understand the predominant aspects of our rules and functions as those in the diaspora. You see, the revolution will not be won by people who want to put their egos above the people of Southern Cameroon. No, it will never be won in that manner. The revolution will only be won by people who can submit themselves, like Sisiko Ayoktabe Julius did. The revolution is in your hands, you, the people of Southern Cameroon. It can never be in the hands of other persons. You owe yourself the personal responsibility, like salvation, to liberate Southern Cameroon. When I say liberating Southern Cameroon should be like an aspect of salvation. I mean every word of it. You see, the relationship between us in the diaspora and every other person around the world remains very significant, and we must not in any way insult the relevance and the intervention of foreign powers when it is not necessary. Why I say so is because I have read somewhere, after the outing of the American Undersecretary for Foreign Affairs, Tibonage, I've read an erratic response from someone I would prefer to call an enabler of the regime of Mr. Paul Biya. Now, we're going to start the show at this juncture. And I want to let you all know that as a people, we must understand that our sovereignty depends only on the way we're going to comport ourselves. Why do I say so? I say so because it is important for every one of us to understand the relationship between us as an oppressed people and the various governments of the world. Permit me at this juncture to sincerely thank Mr. President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, who is particularly at this juncture admired by all Southern Cameroonians for his endless desire to uphold the rights of all the people of Southern Cameroons. I want to thank the American president for being relentless in ensuring that justice is served to the people of Southern Cameroons. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to beckon upon you all to actually remind you of something very strategic that we said in one of our live shows. I want you all to understand that for us to have independence, like I've said, and I'm still going to say it, it will depend on the personal commitment and responsibility of each and every one of you Southern Cameroonians. You see, a lot of us have moved away from our primary responsibility to other issues that have remained super trivial, based on the fact that we have refused to understand the importance of a resistance or revolution. This is Paul Biya being Vondo, the criminal dictator, the bloodthirsty and corrupt president of La République du Cameroon, that has kept Southern Cameroonians under captivity since 1982, compounding the enslavement, or what I call the captivity from the era of President Amadou Ahidjo. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know what Paul Biya has done in the two English-speaking regions of Ambazonia, or what they called Cameroon, but now the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. You all know what this man has done. What this man has done is exactly related to what this other dictator, they call him Omar al-Bashir, did in the Darfur region of Sudan. You are all aware that yesterday he was ousted by people power. I think the days are also numbered for this other criminal, this dictator. And like you have listened, this is supposed to be a very important message to all Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora. I am talking about the TaxTrack theory. I'm going to explain, and this is the time. You see, this man has killed your brothers, your sisters, your fathers. This man here is the worst bloodthirsty dictator that the world has ever known. This is a man that is reactivating and doing a remix of the genocide in Rwanda and the Holocaust. This is the man who has destroyed our economy, raped our girls, burned down our hospitals. This is the man they call Paul Biya Bimfondo, the #1 dictator that has changed the constitution of his own country, fingered it, stolen his own money meant for the development of the people of La République of Cameroon. He was doing this side by side, making sure that we remain colonized. But you are all aware that times are changing, things are changing. And from Bouteflika to Omar al-Bashir, the people kicked them out. But of course, we, the people of Southern Cameroon, we're an independent country. Our story is different from the Algerians, from the Sudanese. And we will continuously remain on the path of preaching to the world our philosophy and our plight. However, fellow Southern Cameroonians, you would remember that less than a month ago, this platform announced breaking news from the United States Senate. We, the people of Southern Cameroon, must understand this theory known as a TaxTrack theory. It has never been postulated anywhere. It's just an inspiration from God to us, through me. We have said it a couple of times on our live shows, but want to reiterate the importance of this particular theory that is going to cement your overall understanding of your liberation fund. It is not about Facebook propaganda. It is not trying to be the best, like a lot of them will do. It is trying to ensure that the little that you can do, it should have tangible efforts or results. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you all know that as an individual, as a journalist, I am somewhat disappointed in the diaspora not because they have not been doing their best, but because they have refused to understand the fundamental of the strength that they have been in the diaspora. In a revolution like us, we cannot thank Mr. Mike Pompeo enough. As you are aware, this is the Secretary of State for the United States, the boss of Mr. Tibor Nach, Honorable Tibor Nach. It's Tibor Nach. Some people always call it Nagy. No, it's Nach. So Mike Pompeo is in charge of the Department of State, what they call the United States State Department. They just released and updated their travel guide, where Cameroon was cited as a risk zone amongst other 34 countries, a total of 35 countries. I want to thank him for his openness, for his very sincere policy towards the people of Southern Cameroon. We cannot thank him enough, but we want to let the United States State Department understand that they are writing their name on the good books of history forever. America has always been known as that country that fought to re-establish what has now become the best country in the world. The country that understands the rule of law. A country that protects refugees. America, the birthplace of democracy, civilization. The country that protects activists to the core. We love you, America. And we want to say that in as much as we have to fight as a people, we depend almost totally on your support as the father of modern day democracy, as the father and the chief crusader of human rights, as the savior after Jesus of the oppressed. The United States is going to do us only justice by doing what they are doing presently. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something, that it will be an absolute disaster for all of you watching me right now not to understand the strength that you have as people living abroad. Sudan has successfully ousted the dictator, like Tibor Nash described him, and the blood-sucking vampire, because of the role the Sudanese in the diaspora played. I must tell you sincerely that my understanding of the strength of the United States of America is only probably underestimated. You see, what is the TaxTrack? That word is created by us, by this platform. That's why we put tax and track, capital T-A-X, then capital T-R-A-C-K. TaxTrack, one word. You see, in any country that you work abroad, you pay tax to both the central government and your state or your city, depending on the setup of your country. And now, once you pay the tax, the lawmakers in your state or in your city have the responsibility to protect you. Somebody wrote that is Tibor Nash, you know. It's Tibor Nash. That's how it's called. My brother Boya Amba. It's Tibor Nash. That's the right pronunciation of his name. It's not Nagy. Nagy is wrong. It's Nash. Now, like I was saying, you know, you have to understand one thing. That when you pay tax, like Sister Madeleine, my brother Fidelis, and the rest of you who are watching me, Nelson Ochemba, Yannick Sikot, Aaron Carr, Atanga Achiri, Ashu Kingsley, all the activists in the United States, you pay tax to either your state where you work. That's what they say. There is federal and there is state. All of you are filing tax. The tax filing this year will end on the 15th, which is Monday. Oh. And you are aware of this very, very sincere aspect that no matter what happens, we as a people must remain committed. Just one quick minute. Let me get this. So, like I was saying, you have to understand these things. When you work, you pay tax. And when you pay tax, the state and the government that you pay tax to has the responsibility to listen to you and protect you. You have the right to go to your lawmakers and make very stern, I want to call it commands, stern orders, put orders on how you feel your tax dollar should be used in the case of America. Now, for all of you living in America, there is something that we have failed to understand. The strength that we have as a people. We must understand that. If you do not understand that, then you have failed. You see, last time we were at the Nigerian embassy where we were protesting, And I was very pleased to see Comrade Boebet, Dr. Kwanga, and all the other leaders, Mr. Ibis Kometa, who came there. And they spoke in one voice and gave a petition to the American Nigerian embassy in Washington, D.C. But listen, on this fateful day, I want to draw our attention to this. I remember very well, quite well. It should be around. I will just get on this little short video. Why they call me Eric Tato? Okay. I'm not scared. Anything I do, they said American government. I, Eric Tato, recorded. On Friday, I met 2 American senators in the offices, and when we were discussing, it was an interview that I'm going to publish. So I'm still doing consultations to know whether or not their names should be involved in the report. And today again, I made some few calls. One of the calls I made a call to the military base. No longer a joke. That is why we say here today that anybody that will do upscale. So I'm trying to pull out this short video. And short. It means that America is already with that. In fact, they know that there is no way out. Listen, I'm saying it. Okay. The senators, the first 2 senators on Friday told me the same thing that the third senator has told me. They said, let the American government has an obligation to save Ambazonia. They use the word Ambazonian. And they went further to tell me that there are serious discussions within the United States Senate to move serious measures on behalf of the poor Southern Cameroon. And what does this mean? This is the long and short. It means that America is already understanding that they know that there is no way out. Listen, pay attention. When something, a word comes from the mouth of the senators, I respect it than any other place in the United States because those are the lawmakers. Southern Cameroonians, their revolution has reached a stage of. Okay. This is what we said the other day in one of our live shows. You remember the live show that we talked about the American Senate, that some senators spoke to me and they said that the American government has a responsibility, the Trump administration has a responsibility to protect Ambazonians. That, as a matter of fact, deliberations are ongoing. And we haven't said in that live show that in the days ahead, a document or something will come up that will be talking about what the Senate is doing. And you have all watched, I'm sure you have all watched what our man, Tibor Nash, Ambassador Tibor Nash spoke yesterday in Houston, Texas. And of course, he said it all. What did he say? You listen to it. Most of you must have listened to it. We will not play it here because you get it on WhatsApp and on Facebook already. And he said very clear things. I'm coming to the TaxTrack show. That he's happy with the works of the Anglophone or Cameroonian diaspora. They have been helping to push out their agenda. He's calling it Cameroonian diaspora, referring to us Anglophones, because he was specific about the crisis or the conflict in the Northwest and Southwest regions. And he said that it is our right, that we are simply talking because it is our right. He went ahead to explain the history of Southern Cameroons, how we were 2 countries and we came by federation, and how the federation was destroyed. He went ahead to say that after Sudan, his next target is Cameroon. His concern is Cameroon. That's when he described Omar al-Bashir as a corrupt and bloodthirsty leader. In fact, there were many things that were said in that particular outing that Tibor Nash was granting audience to a group of persons in Houston. And this should tell you one thing. What did he say? He said the most significant thing that is coming 1 week or 1 month or thereabout or less after our show where we reported breaking news from the Senate, talking about the role of the senators and what the senators are saying. He said that the only thing he hears, most of the things he hears from the senators is about Cameroon, about our crisis. That is what he said. He was very clear on that. Okay, now I'll leave it at that. He said the senators are talking about it. You know, 3 weeks ago or so on our live show, we said what the senators told us. And this is it today. Tibor Nash is saying it. Why am I bringing this up? It's not to probably gain or probably take credit, no. But people have to understand that what Tibor Nash is saying is not the collective effort of Ambazonians. No. We appreciate every Ambazonian who fights here. But we want to make Ambazonians know that you have to set your conscience at this time. Ask yourself this question, that since I am in the United States, the Congress is here, you put your GPS anywhere where you have their local constituency. Every senator or congressman has an office in his state before the main offices that they have here in DC. They have branch offices. Have you ever for once moved? Have you ever for once taken your car and driven there? Have you done that? The answer, of course, is in your heart. Now, today, Tibor Nash is saying that the senators are talking. And you remember in that show, I just showed the video that I said that anything that comes from the mouth of senators, I don't joke with it. Because everything in America is the Congress. When the Congress starts speaking, everything is happening. Let me tell you for one thing. This, you know, like when some other person said something in an audio, say, oh, Eric Tato, you talk sometimes, you talk about yourself. Yes, it's important. It's not taking credit, but it's reminding people that this issue is like salvation. The least that you in the diaspora can do to the people who are dying on the ground is to ensure that you go to these senators. It's very easy. I do it 24/7. You know, when we said that the senators said that some people will say, oh, no, it's not true. But today, it's only less than 3 weeks because everything we say on this platform, we make sure that we say it is born out of truth. And they need to encourage our people. Let me be clear with all of you. That is independence. There is at your doorstep. Get out and take it. You have to get out, move to these senators. This is what they call TaxTrack. Tell them that you pay tax in Maryland. I pay tax in Virginia. I pay my tax in Delaware. I pay my tax in Colorado. I pay my tax in Alaska. I pay my tax here. I pay my tax there. I pay my tax here. Please, there is a problem in my country. They are killing my brothers. And the American government knows it. American government cannot take the money that we pay tax as Southern Cameroonians and involve in trade with La République du Cameroon so that they will get more economic power and use in buying arms and killing our people. American government, you cannot take our tax dollar and you give the government of Cameroon to support for Boko Haram or fighting whatever insecurity. No. They don't deserve our tax dollar. That is what you should be telling the senators. Let them see reasons. It is only there that you go with pictures. We have gone there. Let me tell you something. I remember that old mother, one Lebiale mother, I will not mention her name. When we went to the congressman for Indiana, and the congressman gave his seat to Mommy to sit. The one with another small child. The other congressman gave his chair to that small guy. We have seen a lot of the activities of this congressman. We as a people must understand that it is not only in the United States. I'm just using the United States as an example. Those of you in the Great Britain, like my brother Emmanuel Ekembe, who has been doing a fantastic job going to Commonwealth, go to all the embassies. We started something in the normal era, but we are still trying to build up to see how it's going to function. You have that responsibility. Today, you see Tibor Nash is talking and quoting senators, that the senators are saying this. But I will tell you, some people say, oh, before Eric Tato, some people were going to the Senate. It's a lie. It's not the truth. Because we know people who go to the Senate. Those pictures are there. Post them. Let's see your contributions. Because everyone who is an Ambazonian, it's a shame that you live just here in DC. You live here in Maryland. And when we talk of protest, none of you come out. You don't go to protest. You don't contribute. You don't do nothing. And you think that we're going to survive like this? No. This thing is salvation. You as a people must understand that your independence is there. The diaspora has a lot of work to do. The diaspora has the atmosphere, the enabling environment to do the work. There is money, there is space, there is freedom. You can do it. So we as a people must understand that we have gone above this lukewarm attitude, wanting to stay. That is espionage. He said it clean and clear, and you people have hope. But why is it that it will be the responsibility of a few persons? We have our own things to do. Everybody, when we say let's go to the Senate, we are supposed to go to the head office Senate building or to the Rubin building or any of the Senate offices in our numbers, in 500, 1,000, a gigantic crowd. I remember when I went to the Senate when they were protesting against Kavanaugh, it was a huge crowd. You create the impact. Imagine 500 of us from Maryland walk to the office of our senator. How's it going to be? It's going to make news. Imagine 500 or 200 of you people walk to the office of your senator from Virginia. Imagine those in Nebraska, New Jersey, California, Chicago, or Illinois, Massachusetts. Imagine. We have a big population, and yet we are playing with it. Your tax, you have to track your tax. It's a tax track theory. Tell the American government, the British government, how you want your tax to be used. Propose to them politely. Say, listen, you can't do business with Cameroon because Cameroon is killing our people. And we are working here day and night giving our tax. So you track your tax. We have done it before and it works. It is working. So you must all understand that this is the time. It's a special moment. Now, we have been going to the Senate. We have gone to senators' offices. I remember when we went, the many times we went and we talked and we talked and we talked. You know those group of people. They wrote on their timelines on Facebook that, oh, there is nothing that the American senators can do to help us. It's still there. I have the screenshots. I don't want to bring those names anymore because some people say, oh, just forget about those people. Yes, it's very important. But you have to remind them of this. They said there is nothing American can do. There is no diplomacy that's going to help us. Not this. What is the Senate and all of this and blah, blah, blah. They said all those things because they saw us knocking the doors of the various senators and producing results. But today, I am shocked that Paul Biya has not stopped working. Paul Biya has instructed his enabler in Norway to insert the American gesture. Yes. Because America is not your mate. America is not begging you, it's helping you. America would have just stayed quiet. Other powers in the world, those are African countries just around us, they are not helping us. But America has dispatched Tibonach, who went down there and saw things for himself. And today he's making a statement. Somebody stays in Norway, and because he wants to get involved like a cockroach everywhere, he says that he has instructed why his foreign affairs. And they just forget just recently that they have created what they call councils, that they have the communication councils, this council. But today, because America is talking about us and what the senators are doing and something about the boundaries, somebody comes down and says that he has instructed the Foreign Affairs Department of whatever, that BS stuff, to do what? To ask America to clarify what it meant by territorial what boundaries. America does not owe you that explanation. Let me tell you people something. You people have to be careful. This is a calculated attempt by that man in Norway to make America angry. Because America is helping you. You cannot, what right have you to ask America to clarify us on boundaries? Is America the UN? No. America said it clearly that there are things that Tibonach said there are things that he cannot say there because he understands the answer that the person who asked the question wanted. And he said it very clearly. Let me be clear with you all. You must understand one thing. We as a people, we must treat America with courtesy. Not like the stupid La Republic man who was brutalizing the ambassador when it was not necessary. When we spoke to the ambassador, we told him his responsibility on this platform. And the ambassador the next few days made very strong statements because he knows that it was our right. It's necessary. There's a way that if you think you're intelligent, there's a way that you talk to diplomats if you think you're a diplomat. Somebody cannot just get to himself powers that nobody gave him, just trying to be significant, stealing glories, and saying that I have asked or instructed the Foreign Affairs Department. So you had Foreign Affairs in that small mushroom stuff, and you were talking of councils because the IG joined the other leaders in creating what they call the Southern Cameroon Liberation Council. You immediately came up with your own council. And today, the same United States Senate that you wrote on your timeline that cannot do us anything, cannot help us in any way, you blasted people who went there. Today, you want to say that you have asked America to clarify. America will talk when they want to talk, and they will talk based on us who pay tax here. We cannot come and be talking so much about, we can only encourage people in Norway and other parts to engage in things that are sensible. We cannot say, oh, I cannot be here in America. I think I want to do something that will happen in Norway. No. We have been here through all the protests, all the trips to the Senate. We have never seen anybody from that group, that camp, even come for one single protest. So we as a people, we must understand. You must remain committed. They are trying to destroy our revolution, but we must hold them to book. And this is a clear fact. You must remember that America is speaking and will forever speak. Because America is a lover of justice. America doesn't want to see and oppress people. They fought to liberate this land for 8.5 years or 8+ years. So when Tibor Nash says something, we as a people should understand what he has said. And we don't need some fakers to come and make like they want to get important by saying that I have instructed. You who? Do you pay tax in this country? No, you don't. Even the few of your surrogates that you have here, they have never gone to the Senate. We can show pictures of the things we have done. And I want to seize the opportunity to congratulate the interim government, to tell them kudos for the things that are happening in the Senate. Because whether or not Dr. Sako goes there or any member of the IG goes there, when I go there as Eric Tato, I go there because I have love for the IG. If we succeed, it's our IG that has succeeded. So we owe the responsibility. So all of you should know this for a fact, that as a people, we have already liberated ourselves psychologically, spiritually. And do not allow, never allow, don't share those nonsense from these enablers of Mr. Pobia. Because they think that that man in Norway vomited is the same thing that Pobia will say in order to make America angry. Like when Tibor Nash said this, Rene Sadi came and said that. Yesterday, Tibor Nash has said something very important. Somebody comes on his wall. He does not even thank the American government for even thinking about Ambazonians. Which other country in the world has made as many statements as America since we started this revolution? No country. They have been trying, they have been doing their best. But America has been consistent in ensuring that we as a people, we understand that they feel the way we feel. They have been consistent. You come to your way, you not even thank Tibor Nash. You say, oh, thank you very much, Ambassador. There's a way that you write. Oh, we're so happy you are thinking of us. Thank you so much, our father. In fact, we don't know what we would have done without you. But please, we do not understand that part that you said that from territorial boundaries. It's important, however, for you to know that our boundaries are this, that. You can send some boundary pillars, not coming and say that you have instructed. Who knows you? Nobody knows you in America. They don't even know you anywhere. So those are things that you people must understand. That as a people, these are facts that we must make. And we want America to discard any of such writing. That the people who are doing those things, they don't represent our views. You will hear from our government, from the government of Sisi Kwayo Tabe Julius, the same government that the American, this same State Department. That's why we have told people that God is not stupid. Maybe when people heard that, or they hear this man, Honorable Tibor Nash, that is Under Secretary for African Affairs, they don't understand the branch, the organigram of his office. African affairs, you know, the State Department is the foreign affairs, like Foreign Affairs Ministry of the United States. That's how they call it, but they call it State Department. And Tibor Nash works under Michael Pompeo. This is Mike Pompeo. Tibor Nash works under him. This is the state, is the boss of that department. And when they said that this is the same people in their report, go and read, they mentioned Seseko Ayoktabe Julius. They mention him because they know who to talk to. So you cannot come and you are commenting on what the State Department is talking when they don't know you. You're only trying to get relevance that you have instructed AYZ to do what? No, they don't know you. You don't exist as far as America is concerned. America is not